It's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Dim.
Students and scholars, friends and relations, welcome to the Brothers Dim podcast, a podcast in which two cool dudes have a bodacious discussion about the radical stories written down by the Brothers Grimm in Germany in the early 19th century. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm well. I understand your children were in some sort of imagination-based Olympics.
Oh boy. Yes, they were. We are a big destination imagination household. And if you're not familiar with that, kids form teams to solve a central STEAM-based challenge. So there's technical, there's engineering, there's scientific, there's improv, service learning, fine arts, and the whole thing is kid-led. My wife manages a team for both my kids each.
Okay.
And she basically is there to make sure they don't cut off their fingers or come up with anything that is literally impossible. I mean, if they come up with something that's literally impossible, we would just watch them fail until they decide that it's impossible. It leads up to a tournament in March, and this past Sunday was the tournament, and both of my kids' teams placed first in their bracket.
Wow.
Which means they are both invited to global finals.
Wow.
Which we also went to last year because my oldest placed first and went. So that was our first trip, and it was an absolutely amazing time. So I'm looking forward to it again.
Well, that's very cool, and I hope that it still exists when Jamie is old enough, and maybe he can do some destination imagination.
If you want your kid to learn how to use power tools in 4th grade, then go for it.
You know, I really do. I want him to learn so much. I want him to learn as much as he can, and plus, this whole generation is one of the first generations that isn't just breathing in leaded gas fumes. So maybe they can surpass what we've done. Anyways, I'm very excited. I did not even clip any coupons, but somehow I'm getting 2 Grimm stories for the price of 1 today.
Yes, That is truth.
And I just have to sit back and listen to you tell both stories of Grimm story number 38, The Wedding of Mrs. Fox, stories 1 and 2. I
would love to. So, story the first. And they're pretty succinct too. I think this is like a 1 paragraph for me.
Yeah.
There's an old 9-tailed fox. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot to say about that. But okay, go on. There's a 9-tailed fox.
Yeah, he wants to test how faithful his fox wife is. So he does what a normal fox would do and pretends to die under a bench and just lays out and doesn't move. They decide that he's dead. She is bereft, retreats to her room, and will not come out, leaving the maid, who is a cat, to run the household, I guess. I don't think it's much of a household. Word gets out, and soon suitors start to show up. The cat maid answers the door and find a young fox. He inquires about Mrs. Fox. Miss Cat goes to check on her. Do you want another husband yet? And she's like, does he have 9 tails as beautiful as the late Mr. Fox? Nope, only 1. Don't want him. Rinse, repeat with 2 tails. 3 tails. Finally, we get a 9-tailed fox. At which point she's all, now open the gates and doors all wide and carry old Mr. Fox outside, which intimates that he's been dead under the bench the whole time. However, as the wedding is about to be consummated, old Mr. Fox jumps up from under the bench and beats everybody with a club and drives his wife out. The end. So, wait, there's more. Story the second. In this one, old Mr. Fox dies for reals. And then similarly, the wife fox is bereft. Wolf comes calling. Does she want another husband yet? And the cat maid is like, I'll check. And Mrs. Fox is like, does he have red stockings on and a pointed mouth? And she's like, nope. And she's like, fuck right off. Rinse, repeat with a dog and a stag and a hare and a bear and a lion and all the other beasts of the forest. Finally, a fox does show up, and that's perfect. He has red stockings on. He has a pointed mouth. And she's like, yeah, all right. So she says, sweep me the room as clean as you can. Up at the window, fling out my old man. For many a fine fat mouse he brought. Yet of his wife he never thought, but ate up every one he caught. She's been holding on a little resentment here.
Yeah.
So there's much singing and dancing, and they could still be at it to this day. The end.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I
Very,
know.
very succinct. These are almost
Succinct.
like Aesop, except they don't explain where anything
They,
comes from.
yeah, they don't explain that at all. But so you mentioned you mentioned Nine Tails and something you
Yeah.
wanted to say about that. Now I assume I came across the exact same piece of information. I'll let you say it though.
Well, nine-tailed fox is from Chinese myth. It's
Oh, okay.
typically a trickster. I know where you're getting.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And sometimes a female tricking male is like a siren. It's typically like a trickster. I'm also a big fan of Baby Metal, which is a Japanese metal band that was an offshoot from a like an idol program. They have a whole thing about kitsune, which is the Japanese sort of trickster fox god. I don't think it has. I think it has three tails, but it made me think of that.
Okay.
But the really funny thing is in the original German, Mrs. Fox uses the word Zeiselschwanze for referring to a tail, which is it ends up kind of being a double entendre because the root Schwanz is a euphemism for penis.
Yeah.
And so if you go back and look at it as does he have 9 penises? Oh no, he only has 5. Oh,
Yeah.
send him packing.
I need a fox with 9 dicks.
How many dicks does he have? Because my husband had. And so it's funny. I came across somebody comically going over this, similar in a similar vein to how we do, but a little more body. In Live Journal of all places.
I saw that.
Did
Yeah.
you? And they got right into explaining
The
why
dicks.
possibly that's why they haven't gotten rid of the body yet.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I find a nine dick fox, I can get rid of my old dead one.
That's fine. But yeah, I saw the Live Journal post and I was like, hey.
I've seen that. It has ads now. Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Do you have a moral?
Oh,
I have 2 because we have 2 stories.
I feel like we've seen this theme before where, like I think my wife's unfaithful to me. I'm gonna test it. And she's totally faithful until like, like 2 years later when she remarries. And then he's like, what are you doing?
And she was faithful then. She wasn't even he was dead.
I came across another version where she needs to remarry because she's going to be poor and she needs to be able to keep up the house.
They kind of get that into that a little bit in the second story.
Yeah. And so she's remarrying for money. And so he pops up and tries to beat them all. And and she's like, I was this was for survival. A. B, you're a dick. Why were you pretending to be dead for this long? And he's like, oh, maybe you've got a point.
Yeah. That was what I think I said, if your wife's cheating on you, if she's making a cuckold out of you, there's a good chance it's your fault for being a weird, jealous dick. Like she was fine. Like as far as Mrs. Fox knows, she's not being unfaithful. And she waited a long time. She waited the mourning period. So if your wife's walking out, that's on you, bro.
Yeah, both of these reject suitor after suitor after suitor.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, because one doesn't have 9 dicks and the other doesn't. The other doesn't look like her husband, which actually gets kind of speciesist too, if you want to get right down to it.
That's fine.
She's like, does he have red stockings and a pointy face?
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I would only
code for Fox.
If Amanda died, I would only want to marry another human.
That's fair.
I don't think I would want to marry a wolf.
It's also the law.
Or a monkey. Or a fucking dog. Or a
don't
a full size body pillow.
That is a thing, actually.
Oh, I'm aware. So, but anyways, okay. Well, second moral then. Just wait for the right person, I guess.
Yeah.
But don't get married. Yeah, don't get married just to get married. Like I got married at 39. I don't want to talk shit about my exes because for the most part I adore many of them. But some of them were just the fucking worst. And imagine if I had married them, like what a miserable situation I'd be in with some of them. And I wouldn't have my kid. So yeah, don't be in a hurry to get married. Life's not a race. Just wait for the right one.
Yeah.
Be worth it.
Yep, I buy that. Did you have a different moral for the first one, or are we on the same page there?
No, exactly the same page.
Yeah.
Just like that's you being a weird jealous. Don't be a weird jealous dick. Like it's weird that you did that and you get what you deserve.
There are a couple weird things in this. First of all, they speak mostly in verse, which was strange, I guess. And again, it brings me back to that question of like, what did these look like in German? Because ostensibly they're in verse in German, but whoever translated these versions got the rhyming pretty decently.
I see.
You
I
gotta wonder,
disagree.
like, how much liberty was there?
No, that's the, hold on. I'm going to get into like what my idea, we can get into notes afterwards. I can get into what in my pitch was, which was maybe I can just redo the poems in this. Cause no offense. Some of them are the weird meters. Where is it? Like, okay. I am not sleeping. I am waking. Would you know what I am making? I am boiling warm beer with butter so nice. Will the gentleman enter and drink some likewise?
Okay, that's fair. But then also you have sweep me the room as clean as you can. Up at the window, fling out my old man. For many a
Okay,
fine fat mouse he brought, yet of his wife he never thought, but ate up everyone he caught.
that one's not bad. I was gonna rewrite some of the poems though.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm gonna read you what I got.
Oh yeah, go.
Okay, so the first poem was, "What are you up to, Miss Curious Cat? Are you awake or taking a nap? I am walking around like a busy housemaid, which means I can tell you the brew that I've made. I am boiling a beer which is hoppy and gold for the mistress in mourning, a fox to behold. In the meantime, please enter and drink of the ale and listen with sadness to the widow's wails."
That's good. You left out the butter in the beer, but yeah.
I don't, yeah, on purpose. I don't need butter in my beer. Yeah. But then I got a little body. So the first
boy.
the first guy comes and he says, you know, where's the lady? She sits in her room, a sad little box, and longs for her husband, the fox with 9 cocks. But the lord of the manor is with us no more, so I ask you again why you knock on our door. And then just somewhere, and I don't know where, when they say, oh, like, you know, oh, for the second story, because she's, you know, how about a two dick fox? No, how about 3? No, only 9 dicks will do when I hump. 5 in the rear and 4 up in front.
Very, very good.
So those are my pitches.
How long did that one take you?
That did not take me very long. And I figure I could do the rest of them. Although you said you like some of them, so maybe I don't know where else I could publish something small, but we could make a small collection of our favorite stories with a few tweaks. Maybe buy that for $1. But anyways, that's out.
It actually has occurred to me that we should probably put up a site.
We should do.
We could put up little things like that. We could just have links to stuff.
Yeah, we can if you want. We'll see. ATU type, and there's lots.
Oh right.
And
yeah.
I was gonna say I wanted to thank the University of Missouri for having a much better listing of the ATU or Arn Thompson Uther Index than the old website that I was using. UMIS website is much more complete, so I was delighted by that. But there's a lot of ATU types. There's ATU 65, the she fox's suitors. 1350, the soon consoled widow. 1352, I couldn't find that anywhere, although 1352A is about a parrot who prevents adultery. And then lastly, 1510 was the matron of Ephesus, was an evolving portrait of a woman faced with the death of her spouse and faced with liberty for the first time in her life. And someone had said, well, while I was looking at that, they said it's something interesting about that and just about the fox in general is that women in Grimm and a lot of folktales, the character of the widow is the most developed character and it has the most agency in Grimm's.
Yes, yeah, I would agree.
And I mean, this one she decided she wanted to marry, or she had, if she had to marry for money, that's fine. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm going to think of that maybe when we go more. I know not a lot of agency in most of the women.
Yeah, no.
In our stories.
Yeah, no, I did notice that there's more agency here.
Yeah. I guess I have one more note. I don't know if you have any more notes.
I have one. I don't even know if it's worth mentioning.
I'll talk about it.
I believe it's in the second one. The wolf. He addresses the cat maid as Mrs. Cat of Keruvit, Kehrewit, and no mention is made of it otherwise. And I went looking, and all I got was references to this story, and I have no idea. Is it supposed to be like some small town in Germany or what? I don't know what the reference is.
Yeah,
what did you have?
One last thing I saw was it was split into 2. So the first one was probably a Wild Sisters one, but the second one was told to the Grimms by a man named Ludovico Brentano Jordis, who also wrote down The Lion and the Frog for the brothers.
Right.
But I'm wondering if they were all at the bar. And Ludo heard the Mrs. Fox tale, and he saunters up, and he's like, no, you guys have the story all backwards. First of all, Mr. Fox was dead for real. This is how the story goes for real. You bet. And the second of all, it wasn't a bunch of foxes that came with 9 dicks. That's ridiculous. That's preposterous. It was different animals each time, and none of them had 9 dicks. And the brothers are kind of going like, yeah. And they were bored until he said, and one of the animals was a wolf. And then Jacob kind of perked up. Oh, a wolf.
Oh,
well,
wolves.
do go on. And then they couldn't decide which one they wanted to pick, so they just decided not to decide, and they gotta fill some pages anyway. So here we are.
That works.
That is all the notes that I have. So, and you said you're same with you.
Yeah, same. Oh, yeah, one other.
Okay, yeah.
The the wolf in the second one. I mean, and I think all the suitors are like this, but like they come to the door and they're like, "Hey, where's the lady of the house?" And the cat's like, "Oh, she's mourning her husband." Specifically in this one, she says she's bewailing her sorrowful doom and trouble so sore. And the wolf's like, "Is she ready to bang? Can you go check?"
She good to go?
Yeah. How much mourning is too much mourning?
Yeah, I guess 2 years. Yeah, okay. Well, then if you're done and I'm done, I think we can call it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Grimm's story number 38, The Wedding of Mrs. Fox, stories 1 and 2. Sleep tight, and we will see you next time.
See ya.